You know that feeling when someone offers to let you fly their expensive airplane that you'd otherwise never have the opportunity to? It's pure bliss. It shows that number one, they trust you, and number two, that they think you're skilled enough to fly it.
You really don't want this thing coming home, shit.
Now imagine how you feel when you send it right back to where it came from.
Dude, you could fly this again.
You think he's alive?
Dude, well, his head's moving.
Before we get to how that happened, we have to go a little further back in the story.
I think this will go in.
You think?
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. No problem.
Yeah, we're taking the wings off.
Today, we're flying a 1964 Cessna 182 110 nautical miles away to a private strip on Long Island, New York. The mission is to fly down and hang out with Kevin, an avid lover of foam we met on our Discord server. Then, later in the day, Jay from Garage RC is going to bring some airplanes he very much loves and adores to fly with us. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, there's one tiny hitch. The strip we're landing at looks like this. That's not a random clearing in the trees. That's the airport we're landing at. It's 1,700 feet long, which is completely doable on a 182, but admittedly, it doesn't leave a lot of room for error. The short field technique I used this time around to land was to get stabilized on approach on the backside of the power curve and then ease the throttle out once in ground effect and set her on. I stole this technique from our friend Larry over at Backcountry 182, and he's had great success with it flying backcountry with his bird. The approach wasn't as bad as my nerves led me to believe it would be, despite having calculated good performance numbers ahead of time, but generally speaking, in full scale, it's climbing out and clearing the trees that adds more pucker factor than the short field landing itself. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about clearing the trees at the end of the runway quite yet. Let's go fly some smaller toys first. Jay showed up somehow fitting all of this into his car.
Like I said, it's supposed to be gas, this plane.
Yeah.
Even when I told her, I was like, I'll take it, but I want an electric. He's like, you're going to be the first to do that. Yeah. He's like, do you know how to do it? And I'm like, not really. This is like the second plane I ever built.
Be careful with the word build.
Okay.
Second airplane I ever assembled. Gurus are going to come after me.
Oh, if you say that shit on some of the balsa groups on Facebook, they will eat you alive.
When I first started social media, I would post like, let's build this plane together, and these people, build? You mean fucking...
Oh, I see. It's had a couple ground loop incidents.
Now, if you're coming to this video from Jay's channel, you'll already know that while this is one of the coolest looking giant scale bush planes out there, it also isn't as forgiving of a plane to fly for a variety of reasons.
Bottom.
End of the throttle. You see here, I almost stole.
I have no control.
So, here goes nothing.
So how do you think this is gonna go, Jay?
I'm indifferent. I really, if you crash it, find the garbage for the parts.
I thought you said there's no throttle cut. There's no throttle either.
Might help if I plug the batteries in here. Welcome to Jay's RC Garage.
So it should be.
Nothing works.
What do you think? How is it?
Oh, go buy it. Affiliate link in the description. Initially, I was having fun putting around down low, stick and rudder style with the flaps down. For those curious, the bobber's wingspan is 92 inches, and it weighs in somewhere north of 18 pounds. After one of these passes, I decided to ease in full throttle and do a steep left climbing turn to the downwind. Let's just say that what happened next caught us off guard and left us all speechless.
You gotta be kidding me right now. Oh my god. Boys, don't drop a wing on an 18-pound cub.
Dude, you could fly this again.
You think he's alive?
Dude, well, his head's moving. The moving head, dude, that is absolutely hilarious.
So, what happened? I messed up and crashed. Let's not mistake that here. And to add insult to injury, it was someone else's airplane. Sorry, Jay. Lesson learned, rest in pieces.
All right, we gotta demonstrate that again. Here's...
Go ahead, take the wings. You're gonna run as fast as you can.
No, you're gonna throw it.
You told it. You better stop running. I think I want to save this. Why don't we save the one wing for something? You guys like to do 2 right wings or 2 left wings?
Jay thankfully was very cool about it, but I still felt terrible. In the spirit of crashes are part of the hobby, we salvaged the rest of the day by enjoying some of Jay's and Kevin's aircraft that were still in one piece. Kevin, the avid foam lover, even took up one of Jay's foamies and had a great time.
$200.
Hey, look at that smile. He's so sold.
We spent the rest of the day enjoying a bunch of other planes that Jay brought along, like his AL-37 in a Drake scheme. Insert third leg joke here. You'll probably notice there's a lot of balsa at the field today too. This was all Kevin. He started in the hobby back in 1995 when he was about 12 after being gifted a SIG Cadet Mark II from a man named George. And that's right, his little 12-year-old self spent the next year building the thing. He first learned how to fly in a simulator and then eventually took up the Cadet. It flew great until one day he kept pushing it and, well, let's just say he built the wing wrong and it folded. Fast forward to the last year or so, he got himself another SIG Cadet Mark II and built it with an updated scheme. He dedicated the plane to George, the man who got him into the hobby. The registration number is the year George was born, paired with his initials. Kevin also has an addiction: decathlons, Citabриas, Champs, anything to do with American champion aircraft. His love for these was sparked by seeing a Champ flying out of the same field we were at that day while he was a kid. And on the topic of full scale, it was about time we say bye to the guys and head back. The winds were light and variable, so I decided to depart to the south to keep obstacles to a minimum. Risk management is an important aspect to aviation. Even though the 182 would have had no problem departing to the north and clearing the taller trees, there's no reason to add undue risk if it isn't necessary. And since we were in a nose dragger, we made sure to keep the yoke back to keep the nose wheel light on the grass. It was a bit intimidating accelerating uphill initially, but the 182 did just fine, and the second we rotated, it was clear our pre-calculated performance numbers would once again supersede our pucker factor nerves. I waved the wings to say bye on the upwind to the guys, and then turned out to the north and headed home. As a quick channel update, congrats to Pilot for winning our January photo contest on our Discord with this awesome shot of a Bronco grazing the grass. If you want to participate in the February contest, join our Discord for a fun, positive, supportive community and submit your best airplane photos taken in February there. The winner gets a free limited edition sticker and has their photo featured in both a video and in an annual Tail Heavy community calendar that's released in December. In the meantime, be sure to grab last year's calendar too. Link is in the description. Thanks again to Kevin for the hospitality and letting us fly his foamies, and to Jay for letting me fly, crash, and then continue to fly his airplanes. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you'll no longer be passing the transmitter to me. Or maybe even hit subscribe if you're interested in finding out if my ego will ever recover from the incident. Happy landings, bounce one on for us, and we'll catch you next week with a hopefully less painful upload.